Sean Combs, known as Puff Daddy, is about to stand trial in New York in May. Combs had his famous white parties.
So I moved to a new neighborhood and they were like, well, what's this guy doing moving here in East Hampton? I said, everybody, come on over to the house so y'all get to know me. You ain't got nothing to be afraid of.
Some of the alleged activity may have occurred in the later hours of those parties.
Kids have like an hour left because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to.
And there are a lot of questions. What he's exactly charged with, who's going to testify, what this case is going to look like. But before we get to those questions, we want to remind everybody how we got here.
A new lawsuit filed by R&B singer Cassie.
Cassie describing the music mogul as a vicious, cruel, and controlling man.
The whole criminal case against Sean Combs starts with a civil case brought by his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, alleging that she was in an abusive relationship with Sean Combs. But it gave federal prosecutors in Manhattan a window into the kind of conduct that went on, allegedly, in Sean Combs' life. Once Cassie filed her lawsuit, that opened up the floodgates, and there was this avalanche of civil claims that also helped inform prosecutors as they built a criminal case against Sean Combs. His accusers paint a dark picture of a sexual deviant who preyed on young women and men looking to make it in the industry, all of which Combs has denied. The truth will prevail that Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, adult or minor, man or woman. Combs has mansions, one in Los Angeles, one in Miami, and simultaneously federal agents from Homeland Security investigations ended up, guns drawn, going in to both of those homes to seize evidence. They did this with a warrant. Cartons of evidence, a lot of it electronic, ended up being seized by those federal agents. Right now, Sean Combs is being housed at the federal jail in Brooklyn. It's called the Metropolitan Detention Center, and he has been there since his arrest at a Manhattan hotel. It's not a nice place. Even federal judges have complained about inhumane conditions. But Combs is in a special unit. He's housed in a dormitory-style building. Combs' trial is scheduled to begin on May 5th with jury selection. The plan is to bring several hundred prospective jurors into the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan for as many days as it takes to seat a jury of 12 plus 4 alternates, all of whom will swear they can be fair and impartial even if they've heard of Sean Combs. And really, who hasn't? Combs faces 3 federal charges. Racketeering conspiracy, a RICO case, is probably the most serious and expensive and covers about 20 years of alleged criminal conduct. He also faces sex trafficking and prostitution charges. And taken together, federal prosecutors allege that for years, Combs has coerced, forced women into sexualized situations against their will, threatened them with violence if they didn't participate, and brought male prostitutes into a relationship in order to have what court records call freak-offs, which are basically sound a lot like orgies. Women, according to federal prosecutors, were put into these things. The rooms were stocked with baby oil and other supplies. There were cleanup crews in the end, IVs to help restore people physically after what they were made to do, according to the charges, and the jury is going to hear about all of that. Combs' defense team has said that the evidence so far is just an interference in the private sex life of Sean Combs. And what's depicted in videos or said by witnesses or alleged victims isn't crime, it's consensual sexual activity. Will the jury buy that? We don't know. It will depend in large part on how the alleged victims testify, how they're cross-examined. But so far, the defense strategy seems to be to suggest that this was consensual activity, maybe until it wasn't, but it is not the kind of criminal activity that prosecutors portray. The only person we know for sure that will testify is Cassie Ventura. She is depicted, along with Sean Combs, in a video that CNN first obtained that shows Sean Combs kicking and dragging her through the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel back in 2016. For people who have been following Sean Combs and the possible, celebrity side of things, I'm not sure how illuminating this is going to be, answering questions about Combs's relationships with people like Justin Bieber or Jennifer Lopez or others. We'll see how deep into it the trial gets, but for the most part, and we don't know who some of the alleged victims will testify, we don't know who they are yet, but for people who are hoping for a deep dive into the private sex life of Sean Combs, we'll get some of that, no doubt.